welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hi family, welcome to BTM Studios with your host Boitumelo Mankuroane. Thank you so much for the new subbies that are joining us for the first time and for the returning subbies that have joined us previously. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Before we start, please do not forget to hit on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that whenever we upload a video, you begin to get a notification bell. So today I have a sister with me that will be sharing a story and she will remain anonymous. And the story will remind you that you are not alone in the situation and you will never be alone, but you will overcome. Hi, my sister. How are you?
I'm getting yourself.
I'm well, thanks.
I'm good.
Yes, so what are you going to share with us today?
I'm going to be sharing a story about how I was molested as a young girl.
As a young girl. And can you tell us what really happened on that day?
It was 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to live in a plot. So my mom and my aunt used to work there, and we used to live at the back of the owner's house. So it was something that was normal for them to leave me there and they go work because the gate was just next to the main house, so they could see who gets in, who gets out. It was safe. So on that day, I was left alone in the house watching TV, and he came. When he came, he knocked. I opened the door, and then he greeted me. It was normal, and it was normal. I felt fine. Then he said to me, "We are going to play a game," and I was a child, so a game, okay. And then he said we had a bunk bed, so he said on it, and then it was, the beds that have this how do you call it again, the dresses,
Yes.
on the wall. So it was there, and then we had things that we used our cosmetics there. And then he took a toothpaste lid. He sat on the bed and he took that toothpaste lid. When he took it, he said, I'm going to show you how we're going to play this game. Then he took the lid and then he put the lid on my panty inside. So when he did that, he was like, I'm going to put it in and I'm going to put it out. That's how we're going to play the game. I said, okay. He put it the lid, he took it out, put it the lid, he took it out, and he said, now do it to me. I took the lid, put it in, put it out, put it in, put it out. And then he said, now you're going to do it like I'm going to put it in immediately and then you're going to take it out and I'm going to do it. We did that. And then he was like, okay, now I want you to feel something. And I said, okay. Then that's when he made me touch his private part. And when he did that, I touched it. It went for like, can be something about minutes. And then he said, now I'm going to touch you. He touched me and then he said, do you feel something? And I didn't feel anything. And then he was like, okay, now hold your dress up. I held my dress up. I remember I was wearing my favorite dress. I held it up. After that, he said, I want you to face the door. So I faced the door, and then he did what he did. It lasted 4 minutes because, well, I think because he knew when the lunch breaks were. So he he did it, and then in that process he kept asking, is it nice? How are you feeling? And honest truth is that I was numb. I, I didn't know what to respond. I didn't know what to say. And then when he was done, he he said, remember that this was just a game, and no one should know about this game. It was our game, and it was fun for both of us. And I asked myself, how was it fun for both of us? Because I didn't understand that game. I've never played that game before. And then he left and he said, don't forget to close the door. And I did that. I closed the door.
Then how old were you?
I was 6 years old.
And how old was the person?
He was 19 or early 20s. Was not that old because he had a sibling that was a year older than me.
So it was not a stranger, it was somebody that you knew.
Somebody that was very close
Mm.
to me because I would also go to his place. I used to play with his sister.
So do you think it's important for people to know about the story?
It is very important for people to know about this story because remember that this person is a person that everybody in my family members, they knew and they trusted him. They used to let me go to his place without my mom being there or my aunt being there. And I want parents especially to not trust people because a person may portray themselves as a good person in your eyes, but you don't know their dark side. My family didn't know his dark side. I didn't know it. The reason why I opened that door was because I know this person. I'm used to this person. I was comfortable with this person. But I just didn't know that on that day, he was going to do what he did to me. So the person that you are close with, you never know when the day might be.
And was it easy for you to disclose or tell of anyone?
No, it wasn't. I lived with this for the longest time. I only started speaking about it last year.
Last year? And how old were you last year?
I was 24.
Oh, and if I may ask, what made you to talk about it after so many years?
The first time when I spoke about it was after church. I just felt like letting go because it was a burden, and yeah, that's when I disclosed it to the first person, and then that's when the same day later, that's when I told my mom, and then a week passed, I told my cousin, and then a month after that, I told my pastor.
And do you think talking about it helps?
And honest truth is that the first person that I told, um, I didn't expect the response that I got, so I didn't really see the need. But I saw the need to tell my mom because she's my mom, and I felt okay because I didn't get the response that I wanted from the first person. Let me just tell my mom because now I reach a point where I wanted comfort. I just wanted somebody to be there for me. So when I didn't got that on the first person, that's when I went to my mom, and my mom is not an emotional person, so I didn't also get what I want, and I just closed it. I closed it. I told her, and then I just closed that. I didn't want to talk about it. I gave her that. Even with my cousin, I talked about it, spoke about it, just told her what happened, but not in detail. I was like, hey, I was molested, and that was it. I closed it. That's it. It was only when I spoke to my pastor that when I started talking, but it was also not in full details. It was just, okay, so that's what happened to me. So it was not easy at all. It wasn't.
And if I may ask, what were the challenges that you encountered after it happened?
Um, when growing up, it didn't hit me that much. So it started making more sense. It started coming back, and I have flashbacks of it when I was in my teen years. Because remember what happened? It was something that when I grew up, I was not exposed to any, sexual harassment stories. So the moment when now I'm growing up, we learn, LO. We're starting to learn more about sexual harassment, that is wrong for a person to touch you. But that's when everything suddenly came back. And now that's when it made sense that what this person did to me was wrong. That's when it started hitting me, and then I changed. I completely changed. I was one person now who enjoyed the dark more than the light. I would prefer being alone than being with people. I didn't trust people. I still have those issues even now. I didn't trust people anymore, and I hated myself for the longest time. I hated my body. I just didn't feel comfortable. So I felt like everybody knew. It felt like everyone could see what happened, and I was uncomfortable to a point where I never used to wear something that was revealing, even with my uniform. I made sure that it was long. I just started being. I just wanted to hide myself. So it took away that happiness. It took away. The only thing I knew was sadness, because I could be around people yet still feel alone. That still happens even now at times. I can be surrounded. I can be in a place, and it's all fine, but I became so good in hiding that pain that I would just laugh so that people cannot see what I'm actually feeling.
So your entire life was affected.
It was affected.
And if I may ask, how did you feel whenever you meet him?
It's funny because that was the last day that I saw him. He never came to the pot again. And then years I moved. My aunt moved to another different location. So when we moved in my teen years, because they still had a relationship with his family, we found out that he passed away.
Oh,
Yes. So, and what still hurt me is the fact that everyone was sad. They still talked about what a wonderful person he was. He didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve this. And in my heart, I'm sorry to say this, but I was excited. I was I was like, okay, I can live life because I know that I'm never gonna meet him again. And there's no chance that he will ever hurt me again.
and I think I've almost forgot to ask, how did you know each other? How did you relate? How do you?
So my family used to work in his family's plot. So that's how they knew him. So my aunt used to work at his place. And my
It means it was your aunt's boss son.
yes, something like that.
Okay. And how did you overcome the pain, or how did you overcome the situation?
Another issue is that I haven't really overcome the situation. Remember, it's only now that I'm starting to talk about it. It's only now that it's just slowly, adjusting and letting go, trying to let it go, trying to just forget about what happened. And it's still a process. It's still a process. I cannot say that I have overcome it. I will be lying if I say I have overcome it. It's still a process.
Okay. I also wanted to ask that, did you get any help? Obviously, you didn't get any help because you were quiet about it for the longest time. Do you think you need help, more especially professional help?
I think I do, concerning with the emotions that I go through from day to day, because I can be happy now. It doesn't guarantee that tomorrow I'll be happy. I became so good in hiding my emotions that no one would see. It's only I that knows, because at times it gets so worse to a point where the flashbacks will come, and they're so bad that I'll just wake up even at night and I feel like I can't breathe, and I'll have short breaths, and when that happens I don't talk about it. So I believe, yes, I might need professional help.
And what advice can you give to somebody who is in this situation or who have been in this situation, or as a highlight or a hint to tell somebody that open your eyes, there's something like this?
Um, to parents, I'll start with parents. Um, always check up on your kids. Always check up on them whether they are okay, fully okay. You might think that your child is happy, but only to find out that they're not. So be a parent that knows how to check up on their kids fully and make sure that you're an ear. When I say that, don't, I'm not saying don't be strict on your kids, don't be, but be a parent that your child can feel comfortable to come to you so that when they encounter such things, it's easier for them to talk to you, to communicate with you. And secondly, for the victims, it's not your fault. I know the stigma that is around most people who were sexually assaulted before that. What were you wearing? That's the first question they were asking. I was 6 years old. I was wearing a normal dress that I would normally wear. So it's not a question, it's out of. So it's not your fault. It can never be your fault. It's the person decided to do this to you. You did not go and ask for it. So don't blame yourself. Don't ever look down on yourself. Love yourself still because this is what the perpetrator wanted, you know. Um, live your life as how you wanted to. Don't stop it because I stopped mine for the longest time. I was not myself. So the moment you lose yourself, the moment you're going to lose a part of your life. And allow people to help you. I think that's another thing is that we suffer that we don't want to let people in because we're scared of being judged. We allow people to help you, allow the help to come because we're just scared of being judged. I remember that's the reason why I didn't speak because I was scared of being judged. I was scared that who's gonna marry me? That came into my mind. But today I want you to know that you're gonna find that somebody's gonna love you despite the fact that you've been through this. You're a victim of rape. Somebody's gonna love you, and there are people that are there in your circle that want to offer help. So open up your heart, open up your heart fully and let the people help you, let the people in. And I know that moving forward, I know sooner I will finally also have the courage to even show my face or speak about this body because this was just my first step. I know that there's more after this. As I've taken this first step to actually voice out, I might not show my face, but the fact that now I was able to voice out, it was my first step. So wherever you are, also take your first step. And lastly, I would like to advise the people that are surrounding the victims. Never say, get over it. You don't know what it feels like. You've never been in that situation until you know maybe your child or someone close to you who's going to go through that. You will see that saying get over it hurts the person because you don't know the pain, you don't know the experience, you don't know what they're feeling in that moment. It takes time, it takes years. Just be that ear, be the comforter. They need comfort. Be that. Don't judge them. Don't rush them to heal. Don't rush them to forget. Don't try and try to spin everything around for them. Wait for them to do things in their own pace. That way they will overcome fully. Not because they felt rushed, not because they felt they are burdened to you, so they need to heal. They need to. So be that shoulder to lean on, be that shoulder to cry on. We need that. Be the supporter.
And there's something that you said. You said there's a time where you prefer to be in the dark. You didn't want to go out. You didn't want to associate. I just want to find out that at what level or at what place are you now? Are you still in that place, or are you finding your steps towards the light, or are you in the light? Or can you please just share with us?
Um, I'm better now. Now I'm better. That one I can say now I'm better. For me to take the decision to even speak about it, I'm better. I think I'm now finding who I am, you know. Um, I'm now comfortable with people, and now I can associate more. Now I can stop isolating myself and removing myself. So I'm no longer in that dark place. Now I am in the light. I'm walking in my life now.
Okay, before we close, there's one thing that I want to ask again. You said you couldn't trust people. So now, do you trust male figures now?
It's still a challenge. It's still a challenge. I, I don't get fully comfortable. Um, there's always that thing that comes, don't. That one is also still a process.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching our video. We really appreciate. If you've experienced what she has experienced, please do not blame yourself. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. Do not blame yourself. Do not blame yourself. And for those who would like to share their stories, please make sure that you send an email to this email address, and we will get in touch with you. And please do not forget to hit on the subscribe button, and make sure that you click on that notification bell so that whenever we go live, you will get a notification. Thank you so much. We love you so much. Thank you.